Hi, I'm Dr. Don Teague, the founder of the Alpha Zone, and it is a true privilege today to have with me again one of our newest members of the Alpha Zone, one of the finest coaches we should have as part of this growing group. Uh, One of the favorites in baseball, you're a favorite when you have a nickname. And if I said to a baseball fan, do you remember Hojo? Everybody knows Hojo, the great Howard Johnson, who played for four major league teams. Although, as a New Yorker, I only relate Howard to the New York Mets. I was there in the 1986 World Series when the Mets pulled out that
Miracle.
unpredictable miracle at Shea. It was still at Shea. And Mookie Wilson hit that little ground ball down to Buckner, and the rest was history. And Howard, of course, was a big part of that team. In fact, Howard served as an all-star in both 1989 and 1991. I have a list of his merits that he's accomplished in his career, but it would take too long to get through all of them. So I'm just going to rattle off a few of them. For example, Hojo was a three-time member of the 30-30 Club, along with some names like Bobby Bonds and Barry Bonds and Alfonso Soriano. So that's one of his great accomplishments. He also was the only switch hitter to ever hit and lead the National League in home runs and RBIs in the same season. And he was the only Met to lead the National League in RBIs. And in 1991, he became the first switch hitter to lead the National League in RBIs. The second one was Lance Berkman, a guy we've been working with
Oh,
as
right.
well. Yeah. So, I mean, I could be here forever uh, praising all your successes in baseball, but it's time for you to take over and tell our viewers what you hope to accomplish as a coach on the Alpha Zone. So, Howard, take it away.
All right, Dr. Teague, thank you for having me on and being a part of Alpha Zone. Looking forward to it for sure. So I'm gonna talk about hitting. I'm gonna talk about base stealing, and try to get into the dynamics of that, the mechanical part of it, the mindset, all of that. With regards to hitting, it's going to be mechanics first because that's what we all look at when we watch uh, guys on TV. We watch their mechanics, we look at it on video, we study it, and there's certain things that I feel are very, very important that sometimes get overlooked with mechanics, and I think will be a big help for guys that are trying to get better, trying to understand the swing a little bit better. Um, we're going to go into what weight shift is, all that sort of thing, separation, um, also mindset and understanding what hitters are thinking when they're at the plate. Like, what are some of the key words that you would use with yourself, whether you're on deck, you're in the batter's box, you're in an at bat, all that stuff, with the counts and all that. You have to have an idea before you walk in there, like what you're going to do. You can't just go up there and freelance it. You have to have an idea, have a game plan. And then when we get into base stealing, I want to spend a little time on that as well because I think there's a misconception that you have to be really fast to be a base stealer. And while that helps, it doesn't necessarily guarantee you're going to be, because to me, it's more about mechanics than it is just raw speed. And of course, the rules now are different with pitchers not being able to throw over that often. So the base stealing numbers today are a little bit inflated, but back back when I played, and I think most guys would fall into this category of not being the fastest person that they knew. I knew plenty of guys that were way faster than me, but couldn't steal a base. And I think that if you can learn the mechanics of it and understand what you're trying to accomplish in your first couple of steps, it goes a long way to being safer out. And almost, gosh, almost to down to the wire. I mean, down to the nickel. I knew when I took off after my first 2 to 3 strides, if I was going to be safe or out. I just knew it. And I'm going to teach that. I'm going to explain that and try to give everybody a good example of what that looks like. But those are the things that I'm going to try to go over in the alpha zone and try to shed some light on some of the things that maybe, players have not heard from before.
That'll be so comprehensive. I think anybody who wants to learn from one of the best, and I'm sure we're not strictly talking about third baseman because we're talking about the game in general, the base stealing, the fielding, the hitting. You were a great third baseman, and I'm sure all those third basemen out there who really want to up their game are definitely going to want to get in touch with you. So I really urge people to visit the Alpha Zone. You can go to thetrainingroom.tv and look for Alpha Zone training, and you'll find Howard Johnson is one of our many coaches that we now have, but maybe the best we've got for hitting and fielding and base stealing. So I am looking forward to having you on our team. We've put together a really great team of people, and not just people that are knowledgeable about sport, but good people who can give back and are willing to give back. And you can't ask for anything better. So on that note, I'm going to wish you a great day. And thank you so much for being a part of the Alpha Zone.
Doc, I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't even talk about defense, but we'll get into that as well. But absolutely, I'm excited to see what this brings, and hopefully teach something along the way. That's always the goal.
All right. Well, my final point is you were one of the best at keeping your eye on the ball. My specialty.
True.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Doc. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye.